just his first go-round, and I think he did a good job. As I mentioned all along, he's done nothing to disappoint us, and certainly when you take the team down the field and score a touchdown, it's a good start, something good to build on. And we got a lot of time left before we start playing games, and nothing at this point has changed.
Big Blue, baby, fired up. Giants coach Pat Shurmur, his second year with the team, and obviously it's Daniel Jones' first. No quarterback competition on the horizon, though, folks, regardless of the fact that Jones, who received boos when drafted, has been the story of the preseason for the Giants, going 5 for 5 against the Jets and a TD. He was only able to play one series due to lightning. Stephen A., let me ask you this. Should the Giants have an open quarterback competition at this point, considering what we've seen from Eli the last few years?
This is me recognizing the fact that Eli Manning has pretty much been a disaster. I mean, we all see disintegration taking place before our very eyes. Everybody outside of Giants ownership and Dave Gettleman, we recognize what's going on. But the reason why I would beg to differ is because when they drafted Daniel Jones, they told us long-term situation. They told us the relationship with Eli Manning. They talked to us about, his coach at Duke and the relations to the Mannings and all of this other stuff going on. Not only that, they felt like, hey, this might not even be the last year of Eli Manning. He might have more than another year left in him at age 37, 38 years old, clearly having disintegrated to some degree, etc. My only point is this. Daniel Jones coming out of Duke, the level of competition that he's going against, what we've seen from him. The reason why, keep in mind why everybody was on this Haskins tip, because he was at Ohio State. Threw 50 touchdowns in the Big Ten, balling against elite competition. That's not what you saw from Daniel Jones. We recognize the fact that the end is near for Eli Manning. And I'm not trying to sit up there and slow that process by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm trying to avoid doing is rushing Daniel Jones in here when this is clearly your only plan right now. This is who you're leaning on. And if you go to that route too early, because of, we don't know about the offensive line. We know about Saquon Barkley, but again, the offensive line, not Odell Beckham Jr. is going, the wide receivers, how everybody is going to maturate to that process. We don't know. There's so many things wrong with the New York Giants. I'm saying make sure those things are resolved and leave Eli to the Wolves to deal with all of that before you insert this dude into the mix a bit prematurely and potentially harm him before he's in a position to do you some good.
You're putting a lot of stock in the New York Giants, suggesting they have a long-term plan. I believe if the New York Giants have a plan, it's one they put in place within the last couple of days. They've rebooted and restarted and given us 4 or 5 different plans over the last couple of years. Whether or not it was we value the running back over the quarterback a couple years ago, was Saquon over Sam Darnold. Because why? Because we're going to ride Eli into the distant future. And then a year later, it looks like it's coming into an Eli, so let's go with the quarterback out of Duke. They keep restarting and rebooting. I don't believe anything when they tell us, hey, it could be the Green Bay model. Maybe it wouldn't be the Kansas City model, Gettleman told us. Maybe Daniel Jones will sit for years. There's no long-term plan you should be putting stock in. You should be treating this as an open competition. And why? Because every job should be, Stephen A., and I truly believe that you believe that.
I do believe that.
I believe you are a best man wins the job type of guy. I believe that you are a merit-based individual. And that means we should go into this, not with Eli's legacy giving him a leg up. It should be, can Daniel Jones beat him? And I think he's already on the clock. It's when, not if, Daniel Jones takes this job. And hold on, you were on vacation, so I don't know if you missed this.
Okay.
5 for 5 with a touchdown.
I saw it, and I don't care.
Better than Kyler Murray.
I saw it, and I don't care.
Better than Dwayne Haskins.
It's a preseason game, but
best of the 3 rookies in drafted in the first round.
I don't care, but what I want to say is this. I am not holding anything against Daniel Jones. To me, it's a foregone conclusion the job is his. I think he should be the starting quarterback of the New York Giants before the season ends. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's so many things wrong with the New York Giants. Let's see what they're doing in other areas of their football team and make sure those things are addressed before you throw this dude to the Wolves. Throw Eli to the Wolves. You've been losing anyway. You're paying him all this money. This man has made more money than Tom Brady in his career, for crying out loud. Eli Manning, Fortune 5, but the Lord knows what kind of damn thing they talk about with this dude, the money that he's collected just because he's a damn Manning. And it doesn't hurt that he's a two-time Super Bowl. It doesn't hurt that he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. And I like Eli. He's a consummate professional. But what I'm saying is he's pretty much done. We understand that. But we've seen a Giant squad, Will, that has been done. And it ain't been just because of Eli. They got a lot of problems.
How could you say he's done? He went 1 for 1 in that preseason game.
Yeah.
100% complete.
That was 3 yards.
All I'm
1
saying,
for 1.
listen.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I have been on this air, and I've decried the fact that Pat Shurmur was the head coach. He came into the New York Giants
jury's
a
still
10 and
out on that,
23
for sure.
record as a head coach. What has he done to show us he deserves to be a head coach?
All right.
So
Let me
all
get
of
this
these
straight. I get
things
you.
matter.
You're protecting the young quarterback.
That's all I'm saying.
You're
For
trying
now.
to protect him in the short term. Don't throw
That's
him
all
to
I'm
the
saying.
wolves. It does sound familiar, doesn't it?
What?
Isn't it similar to what we heard 1 year ago? Hey, I don't know how good the talent is around Baker Mayfield. We have a plan in place. It's for Tyrod Taylor to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pull the reins on Baker Mayfield. Let's hold him back. Let's keep a veteran in there and let the offense be tested out with him. And what did all that do in the end?
That's inaccurate.
It cost Hugh Jackson his job.
Not inaccurate.
Hold on.
That's
Let me finish
disingenuous.
this.
That's
I want to say
disingenuous.
something.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that Daniel Jones is Baker Mayfield.
I know that.
I'm not saying he's as good or as ready. But I'm saying when you go about trying to protect someone, what you might be doing is endangering yourself.
Well, one could make the argument, Will, that putting Baker Mayfield in there with Hugh Jackson coaching the team endangered him. Now, to the Browns.
Baker's been fine with anybody.
Listen. I'm not trying to disrespect Hugh Jackson, but the record is what the record is. You know that. He came on the show, tried to explain himself, but you can't argue with 1-31 as a head coach going into last season before you went 1-1 and won your first 3 games. In the end, what I'm saying to you is that Baker Mayfield's presence on the football field may have been exactly what Dorsey needed to pull that hook on Hugh Jackson. Had he not been on the field, and you can make that argument with Shurmur, but the Giants have given us every indication they have a strong belief in Shurmur. They're going to stick with him long term, and I'm of the mindset, I don't know if that's the wise decision, but if that's the route that you're going to go with all the problems that you had, listen, you drafted this kid saying that, listen, we believe in Eli, but we're going to have a backup plan.
And I'm not saying start Daniel Jones week 1. What I'm saying is when he is the best man, give him the job.
And I'm saying
when he's won the job,
I think they will do that.
Give him the job. When he beat out Eli, give him the job. Don't put some other standard in place like Tyrod Taylor over Baker Mayfield because you're trying to protect him.
Yeah, but you're
if he shows that he's the best and he can handle it,
but it's feeding off
give him what he earns.
But it's feeding off of preseason. You're not going to see that much from Eli Manning because he's a veteran. You're not going to see that much from him in preseason. I'm not disagreeing with the argument that Daniel Jones needs to ultimately be in there this season. But I do think there is some level of protection. You can try and buy him some weeks to make sure that he is as ready as he could be. Don't rush him.
All I know is we'll be seeing Eli week 1 live and in
You're
person.
excited.
When
How
they're
excited
taking
are
on
you?
your Dallas Cowboys, we're going to be out there in Jaley's world.
How
Get
about
ready.
this?
What?
Week 1, Cowboys, Giants, you and I will both be so excited if Daniel Jones is starting.